Hello, I'd like to welcome you guys. We're going to give some people a few more minutes to get signed in, and we'll get started right away. I'm going to give everybody about 2 more minutes, and then we're going to get started. All right, we're going to get started. I'd like to welcome you all to our Exact Synergy Environment Update. A couple of housekeeping things before we get started on this. Just so you know, everyone, all the attendees are in mute mode. This entire seminar will be recorded, and everyone who attends will be receiving a copy as well. It's also available on our website at www.donas.com. There will be some questions at the end. We have time at the back for some Q&As. So again, I'd like to introduce the people that we'll be working with. From Exact, we have Fiona Finch and Phil Beanie. Then there's myself, Bob Donald, and Jay Porras will be joining us as well. The agenda that we're going to be covering is we're going to talk about Donas a little bit. We'll talk about Exact software, Exact Synergy update. Then, like as I said, we'll have the Q&As and our next steps. Jay, if you'd like to take this part.
Sure thing. Thanks, Bob, and thanks everyone for attending today's presentation. Since 1996, the Donas Group has been working with a wide variety of customers in many industries. We attribute our longevity to our commitment to staying current with technologies and certifications. This has allowed us to support and service our customers and develop long-term relationships. We look forward to working with you on your synergy projects and needs that may arise. And as you can see, we've got a couple of nice remarks from some people. And with that, I will now pass control back over to Phil. Phil, take it away.
Actually, yeah, we'll be giving it to Phil and Fiona.
Okay, great. Well, good morning, everyone. I hope 2022 is starting out well and treating everybody well. And I'd like to thank both Bob and Jay at the Donas Group for having us on today's call to talk about Exact Synergy. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Philip Beanie, and I manage the Exact International Business Units for North America and the United Kingdom. I'm joined today by a colleague of mine, Fiona Finch. She is a solutions consultant from the United Kingdom, and she supports both of our business in the UK and the US. Today, we plan to get into some of the details about Exact Synergy, all the advancements that we've made at Exact over the last 4 to 5 years. But before we do that, I do want to take a moment to provide everyone with a little bit of background about Exact as a company, as well as some distinctive differences to the Exact Synergy product over the last few years. Exact is an international business software provider for the medium and small to medium-sized business markets. We employ about 1,850 employees strong. We're headquartered in Delft, Netherlands, and we have offices that are located all around the world. Exact authors international business software. We support more than 25 country-specific legislations in over 37 different languages, ranging from financial services markets, professional services markets, wholesale distribution, and manufacturing markets. We have 550,000 customers worldwide, and we've been servicing and supporting customers both on a direct and a business partner model for many, many years. One thing to note is that as many other companies had a turnaround year in 2021 after the pandemic, 2021 was also a record-breaking year for Exact in that our annual revenues exceeded our previous record-breaking year from 2019 by more than 2%. So we're very strong, we're happy, and we're excited about the future in the coming years for both our current and our future customers. But for this call, we'd like to talk to you about some of the improvements that we've made to the Exact Synergy product. And before we do that, though, we want to highlight some of the key changes to both our business and our product, Exact Synergy. So first of all, in late 2017, Exact divested much of its local business units in order to gain more focus on the international value propositions and products. And by way of this divestment, it also enabled Exact to set forth a roadmap that would give us the opportunity to make Exact Synergy more available in other ERP markets besides that which was already native to Exact. So I think it's important to know that while we don't own the localized ERP solutions anymore, Exact is still the developer and owner of the Exact Synergy product, and we continue to provide up to 4 different seasonal releases per year of the product. Next, around the beginning of 2018, the Exact business partner community that many people have become accustomed to knowing, it went from largely being regional or country specific to being international. So by providing more of an international business partner community, this has afforded us the ability to give our customers many more options when it comes to services, support, and add-on solutions. For the next few bullet points, I'd like to also discuss a little bit more about our product. Exact, over the last few years, has heavily adopted actually, a subscription approach to licensing our software. We also continue to maintain options for our customers as we find that's important for them to acquire the software on a perpetual basis. In terms of subscription licensing, we've made our software considerably more affordable for customers in both the short and the long term. But it's also allowed us to change the types of licenses that we provide. So Exact Synergy users also come in the way of medium and light users. Exact Synergy, given the fact that it is a powerful solution, it does have many types of users that use the product and leverage it in a variety of ways. So it ranges from heavier users to more casual users. So by giving people a medium and light option, we wanted to give our customers those options and as well, and to be able to give them upgrade paths wherever available. And the last point that I'd like to mention before we hand it over to Fiona is that, like Exact Synergy has been used to complete many Exact ERP solutions, we've also made it available to connect to many other ERP software packages. Packages like Epicor Kinetic, SAP Business One, Acumatica, Syspro. These are all possibilities which have been added to the list of available options that once really only included Exact Globe and formerly the company's Macola, JobBoss, and Max. So with all of this said, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Fiona Finch, and she's going to spend the balance of the time today getting into some of the specific improvements that we've made and the enhancements that Exact Synergy has had over the last few years. So with that said, Fiona, why don't you take it away?
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Phil. So as Phil said, I'm going to actually take you through a few PowerPoint slides and also some of the Synergy product as well. So for those of you that don't know Synergy and are not aware about it, Exact Synergy is a front office application that brings together both your employee information, but also all of your account data as well, be that your customers, your vendors, any of your resellers, etc. within there as well. They come into a single product to be able to manage them through document management, workflow management, and also project management as well. So those three sort of areas bring all of the information together. It's designed as a very flexible tool and allows you to manage all of those business processes. So you get clarity, you get structure, and you get a lot of collaboration within the business as well. So it gives you the ability, for example, to be able to manage your HR processes. So you're reducing the amount of time spending on those day-to-day admin type processes. You can also roll it out for commercial teams, so sales guys, etc., to be able to track every lead, every phone call, every interaction that they have with your customer. And your financial information is also in there. So again, that allows you to be able to manage vendor invoices, purchase requisitions, etc. as well. So all of that within a single product. And as Phil says, we have the ability then to link that to multiple ERP solutions. So for those of you that already have Synergy, that you're aware of it within Macola, you have a version that is about 5 years out of date now, and you'll be pleased to hear Exact ourselves have been updating it since then. As a rough number, we've introduced about 400 different updates to Synergy since then. Not all of them are going to be new fields and brand new functionality. We've also enhanced the background to it as well. So the technology, the security, etc. behind it as well. So I say about 400 different individual updates have gone through in those last 5 years. One of the big things is that we did have a new user interface, and that allows it to become much easier to navigate. We introduced Workspaces roughly about that time, and they've gone on and they've developed a lot more since then, and that allows you to be able to very easily configure the product to be able to navigate specifically for yourself. We've also introduced whole new areas of functionality. Phil was mentioning RPA, the connection a little bit earlier on. We also have areas such as social collaboration as well, which again is a brand new module that was added about 2 or 3 years ago into Synergy to promote that collaboration within the product. So to start off with, I'm going to have a little bit of a look at the new areas around the user experience. Now, as I say, one of the big ones that we introduced was Workspaces. Now, Workspaces are the first thing that you see when you first log on to the system, and they allow you to be able to configure exactly what links you want elsewhere within the software. So it's a little bit like a favorites page. However, there's a lot more functionality behind it. You can embed feeds if you want to do so, be that from within Synergy, so things like your timeline, your social collaboration feeds, but also externally if you want to put a LinkedIn feed or monitor a Twitter account, you've got the ability to do that as well. What these give you is much improved navigation. So you don't have to keep searching through menus. If there's places you go to quickly, it allows you to be able to click on the workspace. And what it also does is allow you to be able to group information together really easily as well. And I'll show you some examples of that in a moment. Obviously improves communication around that as well. So again, you have the ability to very quickly be able to go in and add information, share information without having to again go through lots and lots of clicks. And there's also a lot of individual configurability within there as well. So I don't have to work in exactly the same way as the person that I sit next to or the person that I speak to on the end of a telephone. Workspaces can be set up for an individual. You can also share them with groups if you want to do so, or share them corporately as well. So you don't have to keep a workspace to yourself. It's really good. You can share it elsewhere if you choose to do so as well. Now, here at Exact, I use Synergy every day, and I've stolen a few examples of what we use in Workspaces for here at Exact. So this is the start page. This is what I first log on to on the screen. I have the corporate start page on my own Synergy, and you can see I have different areas on there. Down the left-hand side, our favourite topic at the moment, the coronavirus. We do have a workspace specifically for that, but also we have things around well-being. We also have a brand portal, so if I want to know anything about our branding, I can click on that. And down the right hand side, we have our corporate social responsibility page, information for new starters, HR links, etc. as well. We also have the new social collaboration timeline down the middle, and I'll come back and look at that a little bit later on. If I go into our COVID workspace then, so again, as an employee, if I want to know anything about how the business is dealing with it, you can see within there I have lots of links as well. So tips and tricks, current information, and also links for people who I need to contact, for example, as well. Because of COVID, we all are moving to a different way of working within Exact. We are moving to a hybrid working environment, so allowing people to work from a mixture from home and also from the office. And obviously that has a lot of implications around it. So recently we've had a brand new workspace set up that helps us around that new way of working. And you can see I have things like some videos embedded within there as well. So again, they're not just links, the actual video is within those workspace, as well as again, links to other areas of the to help me around any of those questions. And finally, again, another example, I have a new starter workspace. I have one of my colleagues on the right hand side. I think she's dressed as a unicorn, but you can see again some information about a quiz we did on the right hand side, but more importantly on the left, lots of links as a new starter to all of the information that I might need, be it start pages around HR, be it how to work within Synergy, but also around my learning and development and practical stuff, things like an IT help page as well. So if I have any problems with my computer, I know exactly where to go to. So they're just some examples of some workspaces. As I say, very configurable, configured by the individual user, but make it very, very easy to navigate around Synergy. You're not having to dig through lots of menus to find data now. The next area, again, we touched on a second ago, is our area of social collaboration. Now, this is a little bit like WhatsApp, except we think it's much better, because what it allows you to be able to do is share information, and that can be sharing information with individuals, it can be groups, or it could be everyone within your business. And what it allows you to be able to do, again, is be able to effectively create little chats if you want to do so. You can set up groups that you communicate with, you can have chats, you can share information, you can share data from within Synergy, so you can link to projects, you can link to documents, you can link to customers, for example, but also people have the ability to comment on that information. But most importantly, because it's not sat on somebody's mobile phone separately, it's not a separate application, you have the ability to search and report on all of that information within Synergy. So it's not a separate island set away from your system, it becomes part of your corporate system within there. So if I minimize that a second and I move across to Synergy, that isn't Synergy, that is Synergy within there. So you can see there I've got my workspace, and on the left hand side there I have my timeline. So you can see here I have various announcements. So I have my announcement at the top. I've also shared some project information within there, and you can see I've had a comment about it as well. But you can see I've got the ability to add comments within there. I can also like requests or like posts if I want to do so as well. And I can also share that out to other people. So if it's a really good one that I want somebody else to see, I can share it really quickly as well. I have my complete timeline as a separate screen. So you can see there's the information we saw a little bit earlier on. But on the right hand side, I also have, for example, information about my groups. So I'm part of 4 different groups here, a sales one, a news one, an HR one, and a BDO one as well. Again, you can set up as many groups as you choose to do so. And again, you can make them private, or you can force people to join them, or you can allow people to choose to join groups if you want to do so. I can scroll down. You can see there I've got some more information I've shared there. So some documents, and again, another project. I've got some more documentation there and some more projects. You've also got things like a new travel and expenses policy for people to view it and have a look at as well. So again, lots of data that you've got the ability to share. Again, Exact, as I say, we use this, and I have lots of information coming through that timeline based on what people are doing from all over the world. Because again, as Phil was saying earlier on, we are an international business, so I can be sharing information from the US, from the Netherlands, right the way across to Asia, to Australia, etc. as well. And it's all in one place and allows me to be able to go in and view it all as well. So really strong. There are links to that in lots of other screens. And again, we'll come back to that a little bit later on. So the other area around our user experience is we now have a single Synergy app. Now, again, historically, we had, I think, about 4 or 5 different apps in the end for different areas of Synergy. We now have a single app for the whole application, and it's available on iOS, it's available on Android, and also Windows as well. Now, obviously, there's a lot of data within that app. So the user has the ability now to select which menus and which areas of the system that they see. So they don't have to have every single option on their app. They can go in and pick and choose exactly which different areas of Synergy that they want to pick up. But we also have some additional functionality specifically within that app. So we do have a chat functionality, and we also have a nearby option that, again, a lot of our sales guys really like, in that when they go into the app, if they perhaps finish a meeting a little bit early and they want to see what other businesses, what other accounts are within the area, the app can actually go in, see where you are at the moment, and see who else is around and nearby as well. And again, gives you links then to the account information at that point as well. So if we go back and I open the app up, so as a user, I can go in and decide exactly what information I see on my first screen. And as a user, I have lots of different options in my settings. So I can decide, as I say, what my home page is. I can also go down and pick exactly what I see on my menu. So you can see all of this is covered. I have things like my timeline, so my social collaboration. I can look at chats. I can also have things like my workflow, my calendar, my notes, some opportunities and some reports on there. From CRM, I've got contact information, request documents, and I've also got some project data, and then some HR information at the bottom as well. So it covers all the different areas of Synergy. If I go in and pick up something like that nearby functionality that we were looking at earlier, you can see where I am. As you can tell from the accent, and as Phil said earlier, I am in the UK. So you can see where I am currently. And also I can see who is nearby as an account as well. So I do have one account in the local area. Again, I can reduce and I can increase the radius if I want to do so. So you can start looking a lot further afield than just the local area. It tells me how far away it is. And again, if I want to, it will allow me to be able to go in and look at more detail about them as well. So I've got who the contact is, addresses, account codes, etc. as well. Now again, because I have CRM information within here, I have all of the CRM details. So I have contact information, any workflows that relate to them, any documentation, and any social links that have come from them as well. So again, and I can email and look at the website from there directly as well. But this app, as I say, gives me a lot of further information as well. I'm not going to go into every single area of it. But as I say, it also covers things like chats within there. So I can go in and have a chat to other people as well. Nobody else is on my Synergy. It's a demo version, so I can't chat to myself. I can also go in and not only look at my workflows, but also move them forward as well if I want to do so. So if I want to look at a broken item there, I can go in and I can approve, I can plan, I can process, etc. within there as well. So all my workflows are in there. And you can see the functionality within here becomes native to the app. So again, if I'm on my mobile phone, it will change the icons, it will change the layout to make it very easy to be able to go in and not only read the information, but also process data within there as well. So as I say, that's the app. It does come as standard with Synergy. So if you have a license to Synergy, you will have access to be able to log on to the app as well. So that allows you to be able to put it on your mobile phones and your cell phones, sorry, that's a UK term, your cell phones, and also put it onto things like tablets, iPads, etc. as well. So a really nice function. And as I say, that comes as standard as part of Synergy. So if we move on from the user experience and cover some of the other areas that are perhaps updated or we have some changes, our project management has improved considerably in the last few years. So we now have our professional services automation in as part of the projects. We have a vastly improved project card, so that includes things like our social collaboration within there. So you can now manage your whole project from start to finish, but also allow the people that are working on that project a really easy way to be able to share data as well. The user interface, we do have our project planning page. That has also been enhanced, so it allows you to much easier be able to do your project planning, lots of drag and drop functionality within there as well. And things like our hour planning entry screen. So when you are entering the hours, you have got some additional fields on there as well to make it much easier to be able to fill in those timesheets really quickly. And again, those timesheets go out onto the app, and we do have functionality on there to help people fill in their time as well. But if I go back into Synergy now, and we have a look at the project screen, you can see this is now my project card. This is one layout of it. Again, a user has the ability to actually change exactly where information is on the screen. But you can see I have things like my project members, my document list. I also have some contract information, some general details, and then some links to the other areas as well. We do have a full work breakdown structure within here now. So you can see it allows me to be able to manage my whole project from start to finish. And against each of these different deliverables, I do have a set of tasks associated with it as well. And you can see it also manages all your costs, your budgets, etc. as well. So my revenue at that point as well. We do have the ability for both fixed price and also time and material projects to go right through from the planning stage to completing the parts of the project and also producing the invoices off the back of that as well. And it manages all of that through Synergy directly. You don't have to go into Globe to do any of that functionality. We also have, as I said before, our improved planning screen. So you can see I've got my planner on the right hand side, and down the left hand side I have all the outstanding tasks that need to be completed. So again, I can see exactly how many have been completed out of budget at the moment, and I can also see that this interacts with the rest of the planning. So you can see, for example, Andrew is on vacation at the moment, so it's actually come up and blocked that within my planning screen as well. If I pick one of these tasks up, anywhere that I could plan that for somebody immediately turns green. And if it can't be planned, it does go grey or does go red to stop me from planning. So I can go in and add that against myself, for example. Let's say that we're going to finish it tomorrow. Press OK. And it will go through and it will add that onto the screen for me. Now, what that also does is automatically create a workflow in the background and also then updates the planned hours in the timesheets for the employee as well. So it manages the whole of that process just by dragging and dropping that information as well. We have lots of other planning available, so we can plan by days, by time frames, and by recurring as well. So it makes it very easy to be able to manage all those different tasks and keep track of all of the people on your project as well. So as I say, lots more functionality within the project screen, and again, lots and lots of data that I could go through if we had a little bit more time. So from project management, we're going to move on and have a very quick look at service management. So again, this is something I think it's been in Synergy a little while, but again, we've done a lot of improvements to it recently as well. We now have a better planning board. So you can now be able to view multiple divisions. So if you have got multiple divisions within Synergy, you can view all of those against a single planning board. But you can also filter and view by different cost centers and by different date ranges if you need to do so as well. So it's not as fixed as it used to be. You've got a lot more flexibility to be able to go in and really pick the different groups of people that you want to plan against. Quite importantly, we also support exchange rates in there now as well. So if you are an international business, again, Synergy and the back office, our ERP of Globe, is multi-currency, and you have got the ability then to manage those exchange rates and how that manages within your service management and your field management within there. We can also automatically calculate things like discounts in there now as well. So again, if people do get discounts, for example, for multiple years worth of contracts, again, we can manage and calculate all of that automatically for you as well. So if we go in again, back into Synergy, and if I go back to my front screen, my planning and my dispatch board now, as I said before, again, it's now blocked out for me, those 2 days that I scheduled a second ago within my projects. But you can see I now have the ability to be able to view it in multiple ways. So I can view by day, I can look at it horizontally, I can look at it vertically by day, by week, and also by month if I want to do so as well. So again, changes very quickly. I also have can set up different areas. So again, I have the ability to be able to filter and look at different groups of people if I want to do so. I haven't got to look at everybody at once. But I've also got the ability, as we say, to be able to filter items and also set up different orders if I need to do so as well. It also pulls out as a full screen, so I'm not limited to just the Synergy screen anymore. I can pull it out onto a full screen and be able to really look at the detail very easily. I'm not just stuck within the confines of Synergy itself. So lots of improvements within there. And again, the service management still interacts very much with Globe, obviously as a back office ERP, but as I say, sits alone within Synergy as well. We also have some new functionality or a new module known as RPA, so our robotic process automation. And again, Phil touched on this a little bit earlier on. But what it does, it connects and shares our ERP information in Synergy with with different ERP solutions. So you no longer just have to have Macola, you no longer just have to stick with Exact Globe, which is again our own ERP solution. If you want to connect to Acumatica, if you want to connect to Sage, for example, you have got the ability to do so through RPA. But as well as connecting that data, what it also does is allow you to be able to automate some of that information, because what we have built within it is a rules engine. So you can go in and take away a lot of the manual processing out of Synergy and to be able to automate information within there. So it could automatically create workflows, for example, based on different rules if you want to do so. And this gives you a lot more flexibility because, again, it allows you to be able to take Synergy anywhere. You're not just limited to having it associated, I say, with Macola or with Globe. You can take it to any other ERP system that you want to do so. So as I say, what it allows you to be able to do is be able to pull ERP data into Synergy. So you can see within here, I have production order information. So again, not traditionally within Synergy. It's not something that's in there as standard. It's also not a standard layout as well. If you know Macola, if you know Globe, this isn't a standard screen within either of those because this is now color coded. So I can very quickly see the status of my different production orders very visually. I've not just got a list with a status like I do traditionally within Macola and within Globe. So as I say, it allows you to be able to pull that data through, but also present it in a different way as well. So you're not just limited to traditional screen layouts. What we also have within there, as I say, is a rule engine. So you can see here, I can build quite a detailed rule. It's not just if this happens, do this. You can see I can create multiple things, not only creation, but also update functions within there as well. And again, I've got different rules. So whether something's true, whether it's false, whether it's an error, and I can have different outcomes based on that information as well. So you can see this is all designed from within Synergy. So you don't have to go outside and learn a different program. All of the functionality is a new module within Synergy, so it allows you to be able to do that processing, to be able to automate that information as well. Final main area to have a very quick look at is our CRM and our HRM functionality. Now again, these have been within Synergy a long time. We haven't made huge changes to any of them. However, there have been quite small updates, some new fields and some new areas within the system. So our opportunity card is now improved. So you can now add notes within there. You can customize them for individual users and groups. And we also have new fields such as when who the competitor is when a particular opportunity has been lost. So some new fields and some extra data within there as well. The customization page of the HRM has got a new advanced button within there as well. So there's additional search fields within there. And again, that RPA integration allows you to be able to integrate with things like HubSpot HubSpot, Salesforce, and also DocuSign as well. So again, that allows you to extend the functionality of Synergy. You're not just limited to what you've got at the moment. If you do need some more specialist information or something like a DocuSign tool when you send out documents, you can do that through our RPA connection as well. So again, that extends that CRM and HRM functionality. So if I go in very quickly and take you into an opportunity card, for example, as I say, we now have links to things like who the competition is, and I can go in, if I put a new competition in there, let's pick somebody, you can see I can add things like the strengths and the weaknesses within there as well. So again, allows you to be able to add that type of information, so you've got it very quickly on the screen and very visually for people to be able to see. We also have links out to things like projects now, so we can now link an opportunity to a project, and we also have things like the free text remarks specifically against an opportunity as well. So you're not just adding against the account, it's specifically within an opportunity on this screen now as well. So a lot more information, so we have a more detailed opportunity card, and as I say, that allows you then to be able to have all of that information about your op in a single place. Now, finally, within here, we have a few other areas that have been improved. We do have a new Elasticsearch now. So when you are actually searching for information, the searching capabilities have been improved. So it searches for much quicker across data, much quicker, and also has some more variance in terms of the actual search itself. Around document management, one of the biggest changes that we've had recently is the ability to integrate with OneDrive. So you're now not just limited to data within Exact itself and storing data and documents within Exact itself. You have got the ability to store documentation externally if you want to do so, and pull that and link to that directly within Synergy. We also now have a PDF viewer within the documents as well. So if you are saving documents as a PDF, you can view those directly within Synergy. You don't have to, again, save them outside to be able to pick them up. Another big change we've had recently is we now have some best practices files, and there is a standard area within Synergy that allows you to be able to import those. So if you are starting with Synergy afresh and you want some best practices to get you started, so some HR ones or some CRM ones that give you some basic workflows to get you started, we have the ability to import those and pull those very quickly into Synergy for you. And obviously this reduces the implementation time considerably. So in terms of the document management, if I go in to create a brand new document, as I say, we now link to OneDrive. So if I go in to click to add my attachments, you can see I now have two options. Do I want to link them from my computer, or do I want to link to OneDrive and other sites as well if I want to do so? So I'm not limited to just documents within Synergy. So obviously that saves a lot in terms of the actual database size, because you don't have to store those documents in there anymore. Another change that, again, if you're used to using Synergy, might be quite a big improvement to you, is that you now no longer just have to attach one document at a time. You can actually pick up a whole group if you want to do so, or you can go through and pick which additional ones you want to. And if I click on open, it drops them all into Synergy at the same time. So again, something that is quite simple, but can make quite a big difference when you're actually going through and using Synergy within here. So again, new functionality within there. We've had document management again a long time, but again, we're continually going through and improving the data and improving the functionality within there. Now, I did say at the start we had over 400 improvements. Well, obviously I'm not going to have time to be able to go through all of those, but you can see some more of them that have come through in the last 5 years. Now, again, not all of these, as I said earlier on, relate to fields of data or whole new modules. Some of them are technology based. So for example, we have the ability now to be able to have Chromium support within Edge. We also have things like PSA supporting federated identity within there, within the project management side, multiple files, as we saw a little bit earlier on, high dots per inch, etc. So lots and lots of new functionality that's come through with Synergy. You're not limited to what you're using at the moment. If you're currently using the version that you've got with Macola, it's moved on a lot. We've done a lot of improvements, and hopefully you've been able to see some of those as we've gone through today. So with that, I shall leave you with the fact that Synergy is still an application that helps you complete your whole ERP experience. So it has moved on. We have got lots of improvements, and it is still very much the center of your workplace. Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. I think I'm going to go back now and hand it back again, and see if there's, for example, any questions that we've got. So let's change my presenter, move it back to Ronald. And hopefully we've changed that back to you, Robert. And I think you're still on mute.
Thank you, Fiona, for that. Now's the time for some questions. I do have one that's posted already here. I'll try and read it for everybody. It says here, we have Max and Synergy. In order to upgrade Synergy to the latest version, that version needs to be approved by Max, which has not happened in many years. Any idea on when Max will approve Synergy versions beyond version 258?
So I think I can take that. Bob, you may want to, you have your slide popping up. There you go, your questions.
Yeah.
So I guess the question around the Max product, and I think for the most part, I think this is probably going to be a similar response for really any ERP application that supports Synergy as an add-on. I would say, just generally speaking, for the most part, you have or can have access to the latest releases of Exact Synergy, but there are exceptions to that. And in the case of the Max scenario, I think it's best that you reach out to either one of your partnering software provider, in this case Max, or if you have an Exact reseller, you can also speak to them to determine what options you might have. The concern there is that you have an ERP application that might have a tight integration to Exact Synergy that requires integration updates and validations or certifications to the latest version of Synergy. So it's best to reach out to either one of your partnering software provider or reach out to a reseller of Exact if they may have that answer.
Okay. I've got another question here, kind of like in the same line. It says here, we are currently running Macola M10. We are heavy users of Synergy and planning on obtaining new ERP software. It would be a requirement to bring all of our Synergy functionality over to the new system. Is it possible to continue using Synergy and transfer the work we have done to date? And what would that path look like?
Yeah, so I think I can answer part of this. So it sounds like you said that's a lot to take in. They're M10.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Macola 10, and they're moving to another package. If that's the case, I would just generally say there have been customers in the past that have done similar to that. I would say the database is yours. Your Synergy database is your own, and that includes your CRM and like your workflow, your documents, all the history. I would say, the process for making Synergy functional and connected to another ERP is possible, although you would need to be on, you would have to be on more current code of Synergy, and you would have to also license connection modules like either RPA or you'd have to custom develop integrations. RPA makes it simpler to connect, if you're one of those solutions that RPA already connects with, that would make it much easier to bring Synergy over to your new ERP. I would say I'll hand it back over to you guys. Do you guys have any additional comments on that? Either yourself, Bob, or Jay?
Well, actually, I was gonna throw something in there. Because they own Synergy, they actually own the data behind it. So that data can actually be transferred to an updated version of Synergy. So they wouldn't lose the investment that they had in their prior product.
Yeah, that's
And
correct.
also, I'd like to add that, we've helped other companies do this on various other ERP solutions. And these processes, for the most part, have gone very well. And we can connect with you, contact you, and discuss details and how we can make this kind of a process happen for you.
Okay, I have one more. This one was for Phil. It mentions, on the slide you mentioned the different types of users. Could you go into a little bit more detail of what types of users there are in Synergy from a pricing standpoint?
Sure. So, well, first of all, the user types that we offer for Exact Synergy in the latest code is what we call medium and light users. So if you're an existing Synergy customer, you would come to know a medium and a light user as the following. A medium user is considered a professional role and an enabling add-on role. The light user includes a combination of roles: CRM, employee self-service, and enabling add-on. And what we found is over the years is that clients don't necessarily need to have all professional roles for many of their casual users. And the pricing for a light user is substantially more affordable than that of a what we call a medium role, or the previously known professional role. On a subscription basis, it's incredibly affordable. What we've had cases where people have also evaluated using packages like Salesforce.com as a comparison to Exact Synergy, and what we found is that the light user is about 9 to 10 times cheaper than a similar Salesforce type user. Or in the case of a medium user, it's still I think 4 times cheaper than, or 3 or 4 times cheaper than a typical type of Salesforce user that would be equivalent. So we find that the pricing is in a pretty good place as far as competitiveness goes, and because we offer those options to people on medium and light, it gives people's assessment of total cost of ownership, something to chew on a little bit, to think about.
Okay, that wraps up all the questions that I had in the queue here. So I did want to thank everybody for attending. Just as a reminder, everyone who attended, or actually who signed up and were not able to attend, will receive a recording of this session. If you needed more information, please feel free to contact us at 866-227-0221. You can get more information at donas.com, and we will also be publishing this version of the recording on donas.com as well as our YouTube channel. Again, thank you all for attending, and have a good day.